Welcome to Joburg Today. I'm your host, Leroy Viaggi. We got to hang out with DJ Sabby and found out his secret behind being the best thing ever.
It's 19 minutes after 12. Good afternoon to you. Hello, hi. How you doing?
YFM is typically known as the capital of youth culture, and we were invited to chill with DJ Sabby to hear his very interesting story about both radio and TV.
12 p.m. to 3 p.m.
At the age of 14, I pursued radio. I felt this thing inside me that says, this is what I want to do forever. Family didn't believe in it because they just didn't understand paying for me to learn how to talk. Joburg has more options. There's more diversity here. There's more radio stations in Joburg than in KZN. It made sense for me to come here and fulfill this dream because at the time I remember when I left Durban, Gagasi was still something that was being worked on. It was still something fresh, and I knew I wasn't going to get there because my roots were not that sharp and my skills were not that ready for the commercial level of radio. So I decided to come up in Johannesburg. I did radio production with Nemisa. Just fine-tuned myself, you know, be more of an all-rounder on radio in case this on-air dream doesn't come true. Let me just get in any other part of radio, you know. I was in grade 6, Mr. Muhammad called me Savvy, and at the time he used to call me Uncle Savvy because when I was a kid, man, I was very hard on my books. I was a chubby fat boy nerd, and the only thing I knew I would shine on is my books until I met one English lad who was like, oh man, that's a nice Savvy tea there. I was like, oh, it's actually a word. Googled it and it actually means it's the greatest thing on earth. It's a pimp. It's the best thing ever. Instead of young kids going for auditions and embarrassing themselves because they don't know how to do profiles, they don't know how to analyze the scripts, they don't know how to put their demos together, they just don't know what the industry is looking for. So as I grow in the industry, I learn things that I knew every single day. So why not create a platform where these kids are aware of all these changes through these platforms? I just say put in your all, hard efforts, hard work, sleep less, you know, do more, and when God says now it's the time, you know, it will happen, you know. And so I don't complain a lot now. I'm at that point in my life where I work more and talk less and complain less, you know. It's pointless complaining. It doesn't pay the bills.
I am Zizi Point Devu for Joburg Today.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy DJ Sabby, the best thing ever from YFM 99.2, and you are watching Joburg Today.
Like us on Facebook, that's joburgtoday.tv, and on Twitter at Joburg Today. Now, if you're on the move, pockettv.mobi, that's Pocket with an I. Zizi chats to Paul Mjaji, dancer and choreographer, about his life's journey.
Tell us a bit about choreography. How did you start? How did your journey begin?
Sure. I think for me, and as I think most choreographers can attest to this, I started off as a dancer first and foremost. You know, I didn't even know, I think, for a big part of my life that I would end up as a choreographer one day. I knew that I loved dance expression and that I was sort of inclined that way. You know, I was the kid that always entertained the family. So it felt natural for me, and I think choreography just sort of fell along my path. You know, opportunities kept coming.
Obviously, with every success story, there's the tough times and the good times. Sure. So tell us a bit about that dynamic.
So at 18, I packed my bags and I went off to Europe. And I came back and went straight to university, and I started working immediately after that. And in the midst of all of this, life happens. And I find myself without savings because I'd taken some of my savings and went overseas to go compete. And needless to say, I win this championship overseas, but you don't win cash.
Oh, wow.
So I come back home and it's dry, and I had to regroup and, you know, find my strength again.
Do you think that time added character to who you are as a choreographer to your work?
Definitely, without doubt. Not only that, but as a human being as well. I think it made me a better artist because it made me fearless. I mean, I think it used to be one of my biggest fears to move back home because I felt like I was such a failure. And I think as a result of having lived through it and succeeded even beyond my wildest imagination. When you're living out there, you're living your dream, it's so easy to sort of stay disconnected with where you come from. So moving back home forced me to really see my community for what it was and see what role I could play.
You mentioned being home, but now it's also a very exciting time for you with LA and the festival coming up that you've been invited to. Tell us a bit about the festival and about the film.
So in 2013, the production house Cold Stove actually officially produced what is Africa's first made-for-cinema dance film. So we've never really had a film that has been made on dance, like Your Step Up, that basically was made for cinema as a blockbuster dance-focused film. And the whole of last year, we were on the road promoting the film. We've been to Cannes, we've been to the UK, and this year, now this week actually, we're off to LA to promote the film at the Pan-African Film Festival. And we're excited because as young storytellers, we feel really passionate about taking our story to the world. We think it's about time that we tell our stories ourselves.
Hi, I'm Rochelle and you're watching Joburg Today.
The Raz Gallery is considered progressive in the art domain and geared towards a youthful audience.
For me, it's always I've been trying to tell a story in my own way, with my own resources. I don't believe in following recipes. I'm never going to do what somebody else is doing because that is not in my interest, it's not part of my nature. Part of my nature is just trying to do the best I can with what I got. This gallery essentially is a production gallery. What I mean with that is I invite artists and I collaborate with them. Sometimes I produce prints. I do kind of fine art printing. I will describe my gallery as progressive, no pretentious, and open to everyone. The way I do things, they are more geared up to attract, hopefully, a younger audience. It's beautiful to, you know, after 9 years being in South Africa, just to offer the public in general a variety.
My name is Nicholas. You are watching Joburg Today.
For more stories, check out our special focus section. And if you want to find out what's happening in and around Johannesburg, check out Joburg in Your Pocket. Well, that's it from me, Leroy. I leave you with Deep Fried Man, White Boy Blue.
Back in ETV.
Woke up this morning in a Tuscan villa. Our president still isn't, Helen Zille. I'm scared this country's turning into the next Zimbabwe, so I spend my time looking for clues. I think I've got a bad, bad case of them white South African blues. They say I'm privileged, and I guess that's true. But I pay my taxes, and I don't see nothing improve. The electricity price is outrageous, and it's going up by 15%. And my neighbor Yanni says all the money's just gonna go towards more Lobola for our president. It seems our way of life is under attack. My gardener's from Malawi, they sent him back. And every time my domestic worker rearranges my closet, I can't find my shoes. I'm no closer to finding a cure to these white South African blues. There's a poor selection of organic veggies at Pick n Pay. I'd rather go to Woolies, but I'm meant to stay away. Their economic equity policy makes me so mad I could phone into 702. Well, is there any wonder that this white boy is feeling blue?